Hello HT family. Today is day 4 of our 5 reasons to fast as we run up and prepare for our week of prayer next week. And today I want to share a thought, which is that fasting increases our expectancy. It increases our expectancy in prayer. Prayer, as I said yesterday, bridges the gap between the now and the not yet. And that means, first of all, being willing to face the brokenness and the pain of the now. But also it means lifting our eyes to the hope that we have, expecting, hoping, praying for, anticipating the coming of God among us. There's a very interesting story in the Gospels where some people come to Jesus and they ask him, how come John the Baptist's disciples fast but yours don't? Jesus' reply is very instructive. He says, well, how can my disciples fast? Because the bridegroom is among them. He's here. He's talking about himself there. What I think Jesus is saying is that there is a time for fasting, but fasting is about waiting for, anticipating the presence of God among us. And because Jesus was there, because the kingdom was breaking out in front of them, that wasn't the time to fast. That was a time for celebration. But Jesus goes on and says, but there will be a time when the Son of Man is taken away from my disciples, and then they will fast. We're in that time now. Sometimes when we're really comfortable, when things are going well for us, it can be hard to really anticipate and look towards the full fulfillment of God's kingdom. Hard to yearn for more of God's presence in our lives and among our church. Fasting helps us do that. There's something about when we are hungry, when you're really, really desperate for food, that you can't help but imagine being filled. If you fast next week, you might find yourself at points just imagining food and what you might eat when this is over. And that points us towards the fulfillment. And that kind of very physical hunger reminds us of the spiritual hunger that we should have. It reminds us that we haven't seen everything of God's kingdom yet. It reminds us that though we have the Spirit with us, there's always more of his presence that we can see. And that one day we will finally have the bridegroom among us. One of the great pictures of the end of the time is when Jesus returns, is of a banquet, a wedding banquet, and we're still longing for that day. So we fast to remind ourselves that we haven't received it all yet, and particularly as a way of looking and expecting and hoping for more of God's presence among us. So if you're able to, do consider joining me, fasting maybe one meal every day next week as we pray. And if you're not able to fast physically, maybe for health reasons or another reason, I really encourage you to think, what else could you fast from that would help you anticipate and expect and hope for more as we pray together. So thanks for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow for our last reason for fasting.